Hello, I'm Wibly and it's May, which means mermay. And what better way to celebrate than drawing some merfolk in the background? While that's going on, I'd like to talk to you about something that's very important to a lot of new artists: style. And more importantly, finding your own style. As we all have to some extent, I used to obsess over style. I vividly remember sitting down with my sketchbook for hours, filling pages full of eyes, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to draw an eye in my own particular style. Ultimately, this proved to be no more than eye drawing practice, because as I eventually figured out, style isn't something you can learn or even practice. It's just you. The point I really want to stress in this video is that your style isn't how you draw things. It's not a hard skill that you can continuously work on like anatomy or perspective. Your style is literally everything about you. That's not a joke. Your style is how fast you can make a brush stroke or slow, the colors you like, the composition and subject matter you find interesting, and even completely non-art related things, such as the music you like or the games you play. As a 20-something-year-old growing up in Canada, I'm going to draw differently than you. My taste will differ from yours, and the techniques I use are going to vary greatly. Not because of the way we studied, but because of the different worlds we grew up in and the experiences we had. Now you may be thinking, okay, so if my style is everything, how do I improve it, or even make it exist if you haven't found yours yet? And the answer is you don't. And I know that really sucks and it's not a great answer, but hear me out before you click away. Because style applies to literally everything, there's no way to practice it, but you can encourage it to the place you want it to go. Your style is the cumulative result of all of your life and art experience. That's going to bleed into every stroke you make, and while you have no control over that, you do have control over some of those experiences. If you go and study one artist's work for a long enough time, that artist's work will bleed into your own. You can't stop it. This is true for good and bad art, though. Just as you'll pick up good techniques, you'll also pick up bad ones. So it's good to have a few artists that you admire to avoid learning all the bad habits of one and just becoming a worse copy of them. This is the process of developing style in a nutshell. See work that you like, copy it, reference it, and then make your own art using those techniques that you've learned. Do it until it becomes something that you can't not do. That's just the way you do it. That's all I can say about actively developing style. And while I consider it the fast track to developing your own style, it's still just one aspect of it. It's the technical side, it's those hard skills, and that's the thing you have the most control over. As we know, however, style is literally everything about you. Think about this. I play a lot of Dark Souls, and I grew up on Twilight Princess. These are both dark and gritty games. Sometimes. As a result, much of my work borrows some of those same tones. I didn't study them or even think of it consciously, but because they played such a big role in my life, it's affected my art. I didn't choose that, and yet it has made much more of an impact in my style than that sergeant study I did that one time. So in my opinion, the real core of style is your personality. It's all the little things that make you, you. And this is going to happen all on its own. As you improve as an artist, you'll gain the ability to better show yourself on the canvas. Believe me, I understand the desire to develop your own style and aesthetic right here, right now. Because you see all these great artists, they stand out because of their style, right? Not really. What I've learned is that these artists stand out because their art is good, and no amount of style will ever mask bad art to anyone who knows anything about art. Style is just what makes it more recognizable, and trust me, you don't want recognizable garbage. Study the fundamentals and copy the professionals that you admire. This is all you can do to develop a style that you like. Everything else is you.